Mr. Beak's math class. Mr. Beak's math class. Yeah! Woo! All right, welcome. Today we're going to talk about some good stuff. 1.2 multi-step equations. And I just made some stuff on this red slide that we're going to just solve, okay? 4 questions, I think, is all we got. If we want to do any more, we can. All right? But here is the goal. The goal is to solve for x for all these, or solve for whatever variable it is. And so generally what I always do is I draw the line to show I want this half equal to this half, okay? The work I show on the one side should be the same thing, should be equal as the work on the other side, okay? Do you guys remember PEMDAS? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, right? That's for solving problems, right? And we'll go left to right and stuff like that for when we figure out equations. Well, or excuse me, when we figure out problems. But when we're solving equations, we're actually going backwards. So we always do the adding and subtracting first, and then we do the multiplying and dividing second, okay? Important to know, because take a look at our 2x minus 4. It means we're going to do the adding and subtracting first, okay? And so, on this problem, I'm going to add 4 to both sides. You have to do it in that order, otherwise you're going to get the wrong answer. We don't want that. So we're going to divide, or we're going to have 2x equals negative 18 plus 4 is going to give me negative 14, okay? And now,
Nice
we're
job.
doing
Keep it up.
the inverse operation of 2 times x, which is divided by. So we're going to divide by 2, and we're going to get x equals negative 7. We're going to circle it. We're going to give ourselves a check mark and also a pat on the back, all right? So that's how we solve those in a real quick, in a nutshell, all right? Well, let's say we add pieces to this, and it gets a little bit trickier. Well, it's still the same idea. Do you guys remember how we combine like terms? Do you see any terms that are alike on this side? I definitely do. And it doesn't take much exploration to find 8x minus 5x. It's 3x, right? So we're going to have 3x plus 16 equals negative 29. All right? Now, what did I just say? We're going to do PEMDAS backwards. And so PEMDAS backwards means addition, subtraction first. Do you guys see a plus sign anywhere in this equation on the left? I do.
Nice
It's
job.
plus
Keep
16.
it up.
So that means we're going to minus 16 to both sides. Okay? Minus 16, and we're going to get 3x all by itself equals a negative 45. And then the last step, of course, is to get rid of the 3 by doing the inverse of times, which is divided. Okay? And so when we do that, I kind of didn't save enough space here on this one. I apologize about that, but we're going to get negative 15 there. Okay? Circling it and moving on. Okay? So hopefully you can hopefully you have some background knowledge on how we solve those. I think I'm going to skip that one, and let's do this one right here, number 2. Okay? So I guess on the last one, I didn't draw the big line down. I just got went a little bit too quick. But my A is on this left-hand side, and so I want to get everything over to this side over there. So I just have the A all by itself, okay? So like I said, we always do adding and subtracting first. And in this case, this negative 4 is attached to that A. Those ones are the multiplying. That's going to be my last step. So in order to get rid of the number first, I have to get rid of this plus 3. That's a plus 3, so I'm going to subtract it. That's the inverse of the 3. That's a 3 right there. All right, so we have negative 4a equals, and that's going to give me 16. Okay? Inverse operation of times is divide, so I divide by negative 4. Divide by negative 4, and I also get the answer to be negative 4. Okay? Going quick, if you need to stop and repeat the video or pause it so you can go back and look on what I did, just do that, because I'd rather just get a bunch of examples in so you can kind of get the hang of it real fast, okay? All right, combining like terms, distributive property, anything like that here? Yes, right here I have a combined like terms. 12m minus 4m is 8m. That's an m. Plus 3, I'm going to leave it. Equals negative 29. All right? So what is my next step? I always add and subtract first, and I always multiply and divide last. So that would mean I need to get rid of this 3 by subtracting it to both sides. It's going to give me a cool 8m equals negative 32. And you might be sensing what the final answer is going to be. Divided by 8. Hopefully you can see that red on that red, but it's going to be m equals all by itself, because those 8's canceled, negative 4. Okay? All right. And I think I have one more problem for you just to look at real quick. Let's give that one a shot. Okay? Let me erase this stuff right here so you can not be confused by that. All right? So if I have this problem right here, 35 equals all that stuff. Oh no, what was my number? Whatever, let's just make up one. Plus 7. All right? I might get a decimal now, but who cares? We'll see what happens. All right? The other ones, the y's were on the left-hand side, or the x's and variables were on that side. They just flipped around the order, right? But if you still think about it, the y is on the right-hand side now, so that's the side that I want to get rid of all the numbers on. I want to keep the y all by itself. So I'm going to minus the 7 to both sides. Okay? Could I have combined my like terms first? Sure. Why don't we do that, right? We're going to get 20y plus 7 equals blah, 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 right? If I wanted to minus the 7 first, I could have done that too. A bunch of different right steps, but I guess since I committed to this way, I'm going to go for it. So now we minus the 7, okay? We're going to get 28 equals 20y. You might be thinking, that's going to be a decimal. And you're right, it is. So when we divide by 20, we're going to get 28 20ths. Okay? Now, I know that that's not going to be a whole number, but I do know that I can simplify that down a little bit by taking out at least 2.
Nice job. Keep it up.
14 tenths. Yeah, that's it. Oh, wait, I can take out more. I'm going to divide by 2 again, which gives me 7 fifths. And that's going to be my final simplified answer. It's okay if you leave it as a fraction like that. That sounds good to me, all right? So hopefully that's making sense to you. We will see you later. Take care.
Mr. Peak's math class. Mr. Peak's math class.